Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. Got a video today from FBE Capital. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that ciao. This guy's one of my favorite channels.
What is up, guys? I wasn't really planning on doing this so soon, but today we are diving back into the topic of unhinged woke women not dating men and adopting the Korean 4B movement. Because it's already over, guys. I kid you not. These women folded faster than Kanye.
I'm not gonna say what race, what people. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
Classic. You see, after my original video in December, I was planning to revisit this topic in about 6 months to show you guys just how full of shit these ladies actually are.
You're never gonna find anyone who loves
only
and
1 month later.
you. And it's like, why does this keep happening?
But they actually surpassed even my lowest expectations. So sit back, relax, and watch these women who claim to love the 4B movement, which tells women not to marry, not to date, and not to have sex with men, completely capitulate and destroy the movement before it even takes off.
Women.
The men, don't even get me started about dating. No, honey, no. Not even close. That's never... Goodbye. Don't be mad at me because I know you're going to be very mad at me. Reopening of my dating app. So I matched with Alex and Alex is like, hey.
My greatest highlight of 2024 is finally finding out about 4B. They're not marrying, they're not having sex, and they're not having children.
Who are doing those things with you, lady? Who?
With men. It is iconic. He literally
Or ironic?
knocked it out of the park with my engagement ring.
All right, 4B movement starting. We're not gonna do makeup. We're not gonna use filters. We're not gonna go get the skin stuff.
I would rather just hang out with women and the population. Our date is supposed to be in 1 minute.
You guys hear that? How selfish these women? I'd rather just hang out with women and end the population. The selfishness and entitlement of modern women.
And he texts me because my date was like, what the f is that? But tonight was a different story. I went on a second date yesterday. This man bought me the Ninja Creamy.
I'm seeing a lot of back and forth about can women in America actually implement the 4B movement. The
Hell
simple
no, they
answer
can't.
is no. Women in America are way too thirsty for men.
That they are.
Yes, boys, 33 days. 33 days is all it took to break the will of woke, unhinged liberal women who supposedly swore off men for the next 4 years, all because...
And again, these women cut off ties with their fathers, their mothers, people that voted the opposite way, and only 33 days later, did you realize you just burned your bridges? Did you realize? Yeah. Up.
the big, mean orange man won the presidency.
It'll be like a really bad dream and none of this will ever happen, right? Like it'll be like the first time and then we're all gonna pull through fine in 4 years. Correct? Please? Someone tell me?
Now technically, I think it actually was a bit faster than that, but we only have confirmation on day 33, so let's go with that since it's already pathetic enough. Especially since they guaranteed us that the 4B movement would last for at least 4 years and was already growing strong.
So many people are saying stuff like, oh, the 4B movement is just a TikTok trend, it's not going to take off in real life, it's just a fringe movement. The 4B movement is already starting to go mainstream in the US.
Nope, it was not. Please drop a like on the video if you think this 4B
Men knew. We just laughed and hopefully, and we were like, you know what? Have at it, ladies. If you can just close your legs and not have kids out of wedlock or, you know, ending babies, we're all for it.
nonsense was never going to work, and comment down below what you think. First up, this lovely lady from Minnesota who was so committed to the 4B movement that she made a whole series of videos back to back explaining how the 4B movement was totally going to work and show those evil straight white men, including the moderates, that they no longer have access to her body.
And the men, don't even get me started about dating. To think I was still entertaining a few moderates here and there sometimes. No, honey, no.
Yeah, well, all that hype lasted for about 33 days when she let it slip in one of her Luigi glazing videos. You know, the dude who did the thing in New York with the CEO?
Yeah.
Yep, that guy. The one that all the woke women who supposedly hate violence are rubbing to. Now listen to what she says at the end of the video.
A man who I matched with on Hinge whose mutuals with him told me about it.
That's right, just 33 days after swearing off men and telling women to go 4B, she was already on Hinge matching with those evil straight men Clearly this girl can't stay away from men and can't keep off the dating apps.
The reason she's on the internet is because she wants attention and validation from men. She just can't get it.
But she still needs to sell this badass image of all men are trash and I want nothing to do with men to her left-wing audience. Now the irony here, and something that we as men already know, is that liberal girlies just can't stay away from us supposed toxic masculinity men and have zero interest in left-wing soy boys.
Sounds like he's very insecure. Definitely something that like toxic masculine
This girl even made a list of men that are her type.
Obviously, Jacob Elordi, no context needed.
And what do you know? The majority of them are hot, straight, white dudes, and the ones that are not are ridiculously masculine black guys that are rich, famous, and in great physical shape.
Michael B. Jordan, of course. He's always gonna be a
Makes
top
sense.
pick for me.
So yeah, don't ever buy into the bullshit of women loving dad bods or guys who cry all the time. Since even the most
Don't ever believe that. I've had even women tell me this and I just tell them, shut the hell up.
diehard lefty still wants a guy that is well-groomed and masculine. Now the Midwest is known for being honest and kind, but unfortunately that does not apply to our girl from Minnesota here. Since even though she might be kind, honest, she is not. Because she loves to say
I don't think she's kind with all the videos she be posting and how much she shits on men.
that she only opens up the dating app semi-annually to browse around.
Today of all days, I decided for some reason to do the semi-annual reopening of my dating app.
So either she doesn't know what semi-annually means or she's lying her ass off, since she said this in January of 2025, but this was her in December of 2024.
A man who I matched with on Hinge.
And here she is in August.
Because today I talked to a boy on a dating app.
And in July.
For example, about 2 weeks ago or so, I started talking to this boy on the apps.
And in June.
So to set the scene, I matched today with a boy.
And in May.
I am so tired of feeling like it's never gonna be my turn to find love, but this is like the 4th time this has happened since I re-downloaded the dating app earlier this month.
And these are just the ones I found in 10 seconds. But it's clear that this girl is constantly on the dating apps trying to get hot guys to like her and treat her right.
I legit just started crying because I had to break up with this boy. Because the bar for boys is so low at this point that all he had to do was take me out somewhere. And his response was, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work then.
But since that's not going so well, she
You don't even deserve going out. That's how men feel about you, girl.
pretends as if she's not dating at all and going 4B. Now what's even more pathetic than women lying about this is their constant hypocrisy when it comes to jokes, violence, and sexualization of women, while definitely not posting thirst traps on Instagram. I mean, look at this. This is supposed to be a picture of her at the beach, but there's basically more boob than there's actual sand. But trust me, the hypocrisy with these left-wing women doesn't just stop here and gets a lot worse, even reaching Playboy levels. Now this girl calls herself ... Angel, and she's also a strong believer in the 4B movement, believing that the American women are setting the tone for the entire world.
American women participating.
You do realize the rest of the world don't sleep with men the way you do? They kind of keep their legs closed until marriage, or if they do, maybe one person before marriage, unlike you ladies. So they already live that life.
Standing up and resisting in any way that we want is actually a huge deal because we are setting an example for the rest of the world.
I hate to break it to you, girly, but your 4B sisters have already checked out.
Please don't be mad at me because I know you're going to be very mad at me, but please, like I already know, reopening of my dating apps.
Not to mention the fact that she's pretending as if the American women are actually the one who started 4B, completely ignoring the Korean origin. But you know, we're just gonna skip past that. Now what's even funnier about Angel here is that she doesn't even pretend to not hate men because she thinks that all men are evil, and she comes right out and says it.
I know a lot of people's assumptions of me are like, Lex is a man hater, she hates all men, whatever, and like although that is somewhat true, like I can be called a misandrist, whatever.
Now supposedly her hatred for men is justified because men are constantly sexualizing her and looking at her like an object.
They will make it into a sexual situation.
Make it make sense.
I don't have respect for men that can't look at me without thinking about sex. Like, you have a problem.
You know what? She is absolutely right. There is no reason to do this, and there's no reason to sexualize this sweet, innocent looking girl who is just making book talk videos online and complaining about how evil men are. Oh wait, there it is. Every single time, man. Every time you hear a woman go this hard on men sexualizing women, you will find them sexualizing themselves non-stop. And to put this in...
I mean, it makes sense. It actually kind of does, because these women sexualize themselves. They are with the most unsavory men. They are with the most degenerate men. The most of the degenerate men message them. So they have that vision in mind that this is a representation of most men.
Into perspective of how just insanely hypocritical this is. She is dressed up here like a literal Playboy bunny, and thus supporting and celebrating the granddaddy of sexualizing women, Mr. Hugh Hefner himself.
I think Playboy clearly was a personal wish book and became very quickly a kind of a handbook for a lifestyle. It is an attempt to incorporate sex into the fabric of society.
Now mind you, the former playmates and girlfriends of Hefner have actually come out and talked about their experience, describing what kind of hell it was living and working at the Playboy Mansion.
I got to a point not too far into my time there, I think I was only like 6 months in, where I kind of broke under that pressure and being made to feel like I needed to look exactly like everybody else.
And that Hefner himself was basically a controlling piece of shit.
It was very frustrating to live with every day, all of the drama that was going on and the tensions. I could definitely see that she was getting...
And yet you women chose this because this man is rich, powerful, and masculine.
Depressed and sad, and her demeanor was starting to change.
I felt like I was just in this cycle of gross things and I didn't know what to do.
You know what? I'm not even going to argue with them on that, because they're probably right. But the fucking hypocrisy of criticizing men for sexualizing women when you literally celebrate the concept of Playboy and the imagery, that is absolutely insane. It shows that these women have zero accountability and are never challenged to their face for the bullshit they spout. Now another key evidence of this, and a major talking point of...
Yes! All the women hated Ryan, or whatever this guy's name, I forgot his name.
Amongst woke women, is that joking about violence, and specifically domestic violence, is horrible and should never be allowed.
Matt Rife opened
Matt Rife,
with the domestic violence joke, right? And it made me realize that sometimes...
I mean, are we surprised? I'm really not surprised that he's a piece of shit. Like, not only that, like, he looks like a douchebag, you guys. He looks like a piece of shit. When I saw Matt Rife, everybody was like, he's so hot. Dude, he's a piece of shit, and you can tell by looking at him.
These women absolutely lost their shit when Matt Rife, a comedian mind you, made a joke on stage about a woman having 2 black eyes, but they absolutely loved it when Luigi played judge, jury, and executioner in the streets of New York.
Yep.
What about next steps? Like, what can we as the American people do to rally around him? Let's not reduce this down to like making a bunch of memes and jokes and like talking about his looks, because although he is very attractive.
And this is why men just can't take women seriously. The majority of men see women as a joke. Most women as a joke. And it's kind of sad. Like, society now views women as jokes.
We cannot allow this to like, we need to stay the course, right?
This is another case of unbelievable hypocrisy and the inability to ever think logically, since you literally cry over a joke made by a comedian that could potentially maybe one day lead to real-world violence, while you celebrate actual real-world cold-blooded murder. This is such utter bullshit and shows that you can't take anything that these women say seriously. Now mind you, I'm not defending insurance companies here, or saying that
you're good, brother, I know you're not.
Supporting what Luigi did is wrong or right on its own. That's a whole different discussion.
Agreed.
But my point is, if you're going to vilify someone for telling a joke because it could lead to potential violence, then you're never allowed to celebrate actual violence and you must condemn all forms of it. Otherwise, you're just full of shit. And that is exactly what all of this comes down to. These woke women want to have it both ways.
Yep.
They want to be able to say all men are trash and fuck all men, but they still want male validation and attention by uploading thirst traps online and dressing up like literal sex dolls while claiming that women are not sexual objects. This was unhinged woke women failed to stop dating men.
Yeah, this is why modern women are such a joke, right? We see this. We see this on whatever podcast. We see this on Fresh and Fit. We see this on a lot of podcasts. We see this all on TikTok. Women coming up, spouting their hypocrisy, saying all these things, but yet wanting their cake and eat it too. All right? This is why men have backed away. Even women have backed away from other women. Because why? Your ideals of Delulu land versus reality, it just doesn't match. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And catch you guys next time.